folks, and welcome to another episode of Michael in the Backyard. Well, today I'm on a little bit of a road trip, and I've been on a little bit of a, let's call it a four-wheeler kick to a certain degree. 4th of July is coming up soon, and my grandkids like to ride four-wheelers. I've been buying a couple of four-wheelers here and there, and I got ones that the kids can ride, and I got ones that the adults ride. And the adults, treat them much better than the kids do. Typically, the adults don't tend to wreck as much. And so I got some better ones that the adults ride that, let's just say I'm not worried about them getting damaged. The kids ones, stuff happens. Hey, look at here. We're crossing the mighty Mississippi River. Yep, we're leaving Iowa. We're going into Illinois. It's about a 2-hour road trip for me here. We're about an hour in at this moment in time. And we're going to go pick us up another little four-wheeler, see if I can make a deal on it. I contacted the person. This is supposed to be they're the second owner of this particular four-wheeler. They don't have the title for it, but they are working on getting a duplicate title, and they're going to mail it to me. And I'm fine with that. The title in Iowa is kind of handy to have just from the standpoint that you can register it. You can get a sticker. And in Iowa, on the rural roads, like I live in a small town, rural roads and dirt roads and stuff like that, you can ride the four-wheelers on them to go from A to B. If you got a little place you want to go from A to B on, and you can travel some dirt and stuff like that and do it legally. So that's always a little bit of fun. I've actually taken my one down to the local convenience store and picked up the boss and I some breakfast and brought it back home just because I could. But what I'm looking for right now is this four-wheeler I'm going to pick up it's a Kawasaki, I think it's a Bayou 300, and I'm looking for it to be able to pull my little sprayer, pull behind sprayer, because I've been trying to do my sprayer with my zero turn, and it's great if you're using the Boom application, but if you want to use the little spray wand, it's hard to drive the zero turn with one hand and still spray, so the four-wheeler will help with that application. It's part of the property maintenance program, let's call it, and I use it for spraying some fertilizer, and I use it for weed control and different things like that. And we're on the weed need to spray season, and I found this little four-wheeler. I think it's it's got reverse. It's a 4x4, and it has I think 5 speeds, and it's an automatic, was what I've been noticing on some of these. They're like, you push it down, turn the switch, you got reverse, you pull it up, you're in neutral, you pull it up in first, and you just keep pulling gears up and give it the gas while you're going, and you're, automatic shifts to that nature. But this one seems to be in really good shape, and color-wise, it kind of matches my Polaris's that I'm going to be putting on the channel here pretty soon, and do a little work on them. But let's go pick this thing up and check it out and see if I made a good score or not. We'll check in after I've made the deal, because I don't think these people want to be on camera. And but talking to the lady on the phone, very sweet sounding person on the phone, very straightforward, wanted to make sure she knew what I was getting into with the paperwork, and I was perfectly fine with it. So I brought my paperwork, which is, dollar bills. We'll get a bill of sale, and I'll give her my address, and she'll mail me the stuff when she gets it, and then I'll go to the courthouse and get it transferred, and we'll move forward from there. So we'll tune back in whenever I've got it in hand, and we'll do a little quick walk around, and then we'll do some riding on it, and then we'll do some, let's just call it general maintenance on it, just to make sure everything's hunky-dory before we let's put it to work. All right, we'll check back in with you in a little bit. Alrighty folks, we made it back home. I'll show you the four-wheeler I picked up in just a minute, but Mercury, this guy right here, he's like, throw me a Frisbee. Here you go, buddy. Oh, that one went a little low. Bring it here. Bring it here, come here. Come here, right here. Good boy. Let's do it. So I threw that one a little low. Let's try this one the right height. You ready? There he goes. Yeah, good boy. That's his favorite thing to do. I'll come home from work and he'll be bugging me at my chair and relentlessly every 2.5 minutes until I take him outside and throw the Frisbee. Come on. And since I was gone for the afternoon, I had to clean the lens there. He's got some pent up energy, don't you, buddy? Come here, come here. Hey, can you sit? Can you sit? Good boy. You want to do it again, huh? Here we go, you ready? Uh-oh, don't get the tree. There we go, he got it, he got it. Way to go, buddy. Way to go. He just loves doing that. Come on. Come on. Bring it here. Good boy. You're going to go again. Here we go. Nice. That was 4 feet off the ground. Not height-wise, but all 4 feet came off the ground. All righty. We had to get some dog time in here to keep them happy. You got one more in you? Got one more in you? All right, let's go. Oh, that one went high. There we go. Good boy. When he gets tired of doing it, he'll just run past me and he'll go lay down. I think that's what he's going to do right now. He's like, that's enough. That's enough. There you go. He'll drop it away from me. That's just his signal to let me know, that's enough, Dad. Let's do something else. Let's go let your sister out. How about that? You good with that? Should we let Lucy out? Now, Lucy's also a Frisbee catcher, too. Mom and Dad that we have, Oliver and Riley, they don't care about no Frisbees. But Lucy and Mercury, they love it. All right, so he's happy to go inside. Come on, Luce. Let's see if Lucy comes out here. There she comes. What you doing out here, little fella? Huh? Come here. Thought I heard a meow. Little kitten wandering around. Part of the mouse control situation. Now Lucy, she's kind of funny. She'll jump, she won't jump and catch it, she'll just catch it. She times it out so it's on the ground. Here you go, Luce. So watch her. Sometimes she'll jump. That time she jumped up a little bit. Good girl. And she'll bring it close to me. Bring it here. Bring it here. See, she does stuff like that. She's just crazy like that. Sometimes she'll bring it to me. Sometimes she just drops it because there's so many smells to smell out here in the backyard. Every day there's new smells. That's just the way she rolls. All right, let me climb back up this hill and let's get busy talking about this acquisition, the recent acquisition. Now, I drove 2 hours away to get this, and I tell you, Joe and Joanne, there's a couple, they were the salt of the earth, super nice people. I mean, you couldn't ask for nicer people, I'll be honest with you. They were just great people. Spent about an hour with them, honestly, talking about they didn't really want to get rid of it. They're like, I'm really having mixed emotions about it, and blah, blah, blah. I said, well, this is something I'm going to use around my property. It'll be well taken care of. And I said, it'll be in a video. I promised him it would be in a video. So here it is. It's a 98, and right here it says model KLF300B. And he did switch these, he said, to LED lights up front here. But it's a really, really clean machine. On paper, I'll be the third owner. Whoa, what's that noise? Oh, I left my phone playing. Well, hello, Sasquatch. Okay, shut that down. Where were we? So, I believe it's a 1998. The people that lived diagonally across the street from him, that guy that bought it, that owned it, had owned it since it was new. And then he had passed away, and they had gotten it, and they've had it since then, and now I own it. They're working on getting me the paperwork, I got a temporary paperwork that she's gonna mail me the other ones. Now, let me tell you how great these people are. I took my money to them, and I said, please count this, make sure you count it, make sure it's all there. I counted it twice, but I said, I might have miscounted. And I did. by $80. I'm like, how in the world did I do that? So I told him, I said, I will get you a check in the mail. I said, where's the nearest ATM? Well, they live kind of remote, and the ATM, it wasn't, let's just say there's not an ATM very close by. So they go, you can just send us a check. And first they go, don't worry about it. Just don't worry about it. It's fine. It's fine. It's going to a good home. I'm like, I can't do that. I said, we made a deal. I said, that wasn't my plan to save 80 bucks. No. So I said, I will send you a check. Get it in the mail to you first thing Monday and get you paid. And they're like, don't worry about it. I said, no. They go, I'm not worried about it. I said, I am. I have to pay you what I owe you. So I'll get that coming. And they're going to get the paperwork mailed to me. They said it'd be about another 3 or 4 weeks possibly before they get the paperwork. But look at this thing. Look at this thing. So Joe and Joanne, thank you so much. They actually let me, I followed them on their UTV, and we went, they have an acreage, and they had trails through the woods, and they let me test drive it. I followed them through the trails in the woods, and it was awesome. This thing just runs amazingly well, and it's been well taken care of. It has a differential lock. So you know how most four-wheelers have, a lot of four-wheelers have a straight axle in the back, and so it's a posi drive all the time. Well, this guy has a differential, and it has a locking differential. So what that tells you is it makes it a lot easier to turn at low speeds in tight areas. You can move it because it acts like a differential. Then you can lock it if you need a posi to go up hills or, you know, have both tires bite. But look at this thing. I'm pretty sure these have got to be close to original tires. Maybe they're not. If they are original, they're 27 years old. There's some cracks. You can see some age around the tread, and they're not very deep. But also, I don't need deep treads for what I'm doing here because all that's going to do is tear up my yard. But the seat is, you know, it's got a little mark there, that's it. And it says no passenger. But, and it's got reverse, 5 speeds forward. So you push it down and you turn this little thing here to back it off, back up. And then you got 5 up, and it's an automatic clutch situation. So once you get it into gear, you just give it the gas and it goes. Hit the brakes and it stops. So you just have the one hand brake. And, oh, it does have a foot brake. I got to show you that. That was pretty cool. I like this feature. So this guy here, you push down on the brake, and you see these little notches here? Like right now the brake's on. If I push down, that snaps back. Brakes off, so it's got different levels depending on how much brake wear you got. But you can lock the brake. So that's its parking brake. But look how clean these cases are. I mean, they're just clean. All right. Now what else can I tell you about it other than it's a 300cc 4-stroke, air-cooled 4-stroke. And he goes, you shouldn't have to do anything to it. He says, I just changed the oil last fall. I put very few hours on it at all this year. He says, you should be good for the summer. And I don't disagree with him. It does have dual shocks in the back instead of a mono shock type rear end. But that's fine. That just means it can handle a little more, and it's a little more supported when you start talking both sides versus one shock in the middle and putting all that stress on there. It should be pretty sturdy. Obviously, it's a good rig. Let's just fire it up here. I'm gonna turn the gas back to on. Turn this to on. Make sure we're in neutral. Yeah, we're in neutral, green light's on. Let's hit the button and see what happens. It's gonna pop off. It's just like every motor engine I've ever trailered. When you jostle and bounce it around and all that fun stuff, it doesn't start up as good as it would. But yeah, she's running good. She's a good running machine. It's in neutral. Sweet running machine. Now this would be one of the four-wheelers I have at the 4th of July. This would be the adult-only four-wheeler. I've got another one that's a 220 Bayou that's going to be for the kids to ride. This will be adult only because this one's in too pristine a condition to have accidents. And kids will have accidents. I was a kid once, you have accidents. I don't want this one getting rolled over or messed up. So let's back it off the trailer here. Oh, before, I gotta tell you, let's see if the lights work, the headlights. I'm gonna turn them on here. Ooh, I haven't tried them yet. That's engine stop. That's supposed to be headlight. Oh yeah, woo! Those are gonna be bright at night. Those are some nice white LED lights. Nice job, Joe. Does it got a tail light then when that's on? Whoa, almost fell. Oh yeah, we got tail light. We got tail lightage. Yeah, they're both dual tail lights, dual bulbs. I'm gonna see if I can get up here and oh, I hit the brakes. What happens? Did you see anything? I didn't see anything. No brake light. That's fine. That's fine. So I gotta tell myself, these are ramps that I've had for a while that I built for this trailer that hook into here. And ignore that fender, that's got to be replaced. I put it up on there, we strapped it down. Joe and I got to chit-chatting some more, talking about a bunch of different things. That dude, he's got a lot of irons in the fire like I do, and he's just doing all kinds of cool stuff. He's got like a 1000 that he just acquired, four-wheeler, and he didn't really need this one anymore. They really hated parting with this because they had good memories with it, and there again, the previous owner, they had a lot of good memories of the previous owner, and it was just one of those, you know, sad to see it go. He waved by at it as it left, but and I get it, I totally get that. We do get attached to our toys, and especially if they have a story or any kind of sentimental value and stuff like that. I totally get that. But anyway, I had it sitting just like this in his driveway, and how it ever happened, I don't know, and I never even noticed it. I should have seen it. But I backed out of his driveway, turned back the trailer down the hill, pulled off and left. And it wasn't until I got home 2 hours later, well, I stopped and ate supper with some friends of mine, and then after that home, so it was like 3.5 hours later, I looked in the back seat and like, I never picked up them doggone ramps. So I saw it, got home, I looked at the messages, and Joanne had left me a message going, hey, Joe put your ramps in the shop, so next time you guys are out this way, or maybe if we come that way, we can drop them off. I'm like, that's great, I appreciate it. What a numbskull thing I did. Unbelievable. So let me back this thing off. I haven't put it in reverse yet, so hopefully I don't struggle too much with that. I'll put you guys right up here. Thing just runs like a sewing machine. It's so smooth. I still got the differential lock on from when I loaded it. So I think in reverse, you got to turn reverse. It shows turning this way and then stabbing it down. And now the red light comes on the dash that says reverse. Let's see. Oh yeah. Oh, this is a smooth running machine, I tell you what. It just don't get much better than that. Now to get out of reverse, I think you just pull it up. Now I'm in neutral again. Now this one you just lift up in the gear, sits here. So you give it the gas. Now I'm gonna pull up on this lever here, see if I can get it. He said it can be a little, there. Just gotta jog it a little bit. He said it can be a little finicky getting it out of reverse or out of posi lock. Basically you just gotta roll it under no load and it pops up and locks into place. First order of business. I did something this morning. I started a fire on my burn pile. I think we need to go check on that burn pile right now. Boy, I tell you what, with not being four-wheel drive, and the steering is light. It turns really, really easy. We got low, high, and off on the. But yeah, so when you're in neutral, you got that. You turn this knob here, stab it down, reverse. Pull it up, light, reverse light goes out, it automatically goes back into forward. You can stab it back down, you're back into neutral. So you see here, look how clean these decals are. Reverse is 5 speeds forward. All right, I'm gonna see if I can put you on the handlebar here. If this thing will, I don't know how well this is gonna hold, guys. We're gonna try it. And it's gonna, we'll see how good the image stabilization is on the GoPro Hero 12. Put it in gear, and then you can go. Yep. I might have to kind of hold on to it a little bit. We're just gonna ease on through things here. Nice thing about the gearing, you just shift it down or pull up, let off the gas, pull it up. 3rd gear, 4th gear, which is, we're too slow for 4th gear. Oh, this was such a good deal. This guy Lucy sees a bird, she's gonna chase it. Here's the berm I put up on the trail here so you can go wee around the berm. And then this is on the racetrack, let's call it, built for the grandkids. I mowed this down through here. Just kind of curious how much my burn pile burned up. Looks like it did pretty good. You go up through this area here. You just rip it up this hill. Take a hard left or a hard right, depending on which direction you're going. And then, woohoo, it's hard to do one-handed trying to stabilize the camera. But we're getting it done. The other part of the, I added to a track for the kids. Lucy, what are you doing? Get out of the way. Move, move. She wasn't rolling in a dead animal. She was rolling in mud from the pond. We've got this little dealy bop here. Yep. All right. All right. Let's go back towards the burn pile. I want to take a look at that real quick, closer. Where you at, Lucy? Wow, that burned up a lot. I had some big logs in there. This was a big pile. I can push this up into a very small pile now. Nice. It's still, you can still feel the heat from right here. But yeah, that's cool. I was trying to, this logs over here were big and running all the way across. Some of them were, you know, 10, 12 inches, 14 inches in diameter. You can see that big stump there, right here. That was a big one. It's burned off to a nub. So I'll get Big Mo back here and we'll shove this into a tighter pile, and I'll have my burn pile just about obliterated. Well, we got to go in reverse now. Backing up, backing up. Beep, 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 beep. Let's go find Lucy. Hey, Luz. Hey. Come on, let's go. Good girl. Yeah, with that differential lock, this thing turns left and right at low speeds really nice. Whoa! There we go. Now, why did I buy this one when I have other ones? Well, what I liked about this guy is there again, that differential lock is nice. I just learned about that. That's a happy little accident, let's call it that. But I want to be able to pull my sprayer behind here. That'll be the first job I do with it. But I'll pull this sprayer, and then that automatic, you don't have to rev it up too high like on my Polaris 400. You got to rev it up. It's more snowmobile engine like. It's a 2-stroke 400. And just for low speed operations and trying to run a hand wand and stuff, I think the 4-stroke's going to play better with me. Oh, you found your mama, did you, little kitty? There it is. I don't know if I can fit through one side of the gate here. Can I? Can I? Can I? I guess I'm going to open up both sides. Lock the parking brake. Nice thing about this parking brake, you just push down on it and she releases. All right. I think I'm gonna flip the camera around toward me. And that way hopefully I can do this to show you the speed. Starting off in second gear, not great, but let's get on the road here. Third gear, no, I don't know what gear I'm in. Tires are gonna howl. And then fifth gear, nobody's behind me. Roper up. Pretty good. How fast are we going? Oh, come on. What happened? Hey, we're on gravel now. Like about 33 to 34 is about top speed in fifth gear. That's plenty fast on this, especially in my backyard. That's great for just doing a little gravel travel. this thing. It's plenty fast enough. All right. There, we had a little fun on the road. Now it's time to do some work. I'm gonna need a different GoPro thing if I'm gonna do the four-wheeler stuff a lot. Alrighty, well, this is what I'm gonna hook up to it, folks. I got a sprayer here that I'm gonna use for spraying stuff. So mama and your kitten, you're gonna have to move out the way. Move out the way. Let's see here. Little kitten's wanting to follow me around, aren't you, guy? I got you now. What do you think, buddy? Look at that little guy. Look at that little guy. All right. Well, you keep mice off my property. You can hang around. So if I can grab this thing, I'm gonna set you guys over here. There we go, like it was made for it. Now the power comes from a couple of alligator clips. These things have gotten nasty dirty. But I want to hook a battery up to it before I fill it up, just to make sure it still works. Now what I have here is a LiPo battery that I'm going to strap down right here. Yeah, somehow, there, something like that. Instead of running off the battery on the four-wheeler and putting stress on it, let's just put it on something. There's the on-off switch. I built up pressure. That's good. It's working great. Now the pink fluid that I have in here is actually antifreeze. And when I say antifreeze, I don't mean the poisonous stuff for animals. I mean the RV antifreeze that's okay for things, right? Now I'll just let you guys know that you don't have to buy the expensive stuff. This is just your concentrate, compare and save. The cheapest grass killer you can buy at your local big box store. You can buy the Roundup that says results in 12 hours and waste all the money on that stuff if you want. That's your choice. But over the years I found that this stuff works just as good. Yeah, you don't have results in 12 hours. And keep in mind that 12 hours depends on what time of day. That's enough of that. What time of day you spray it. If it's a peak sun and the plants are doing their best to do growy things, of course you're going to get greater results. But what I found out, this stuff will leave it just as dead. It might take a day or two, but it will be just as dead, guaranteed. All right. I think I used up all my bungee cords. Nope, I didn't use them all up. I'll be back. We're gonna rob this basket off my other four-wheeler and stick it on here for now. This will fit back here perfect, I believe. Yeah, and then we can set the battery inside that. And we'll strap this guy down like this. Maybe let's see how far I can stretch this guy. I want it to stay pretty stable. I don't want it to be sliding all over. Oh, let's get around part of it here. There's something. That'll ride pretty okay. I'll tell you what, you get these corded type bungees. This one don't have a big enough hook. Maybe I can go through here, Through here. Whoops. These rubber ones they can be kind of hard to beat, guys. Oh, is there another hole? Nope. Yep. Oh, I don't have a hole here. Let's see if I can get underneath this little hooky-doo here. Now, when you use these rubber ones, guys, be very careful. If they snap back, they'll take an eye out. Ask me how I know. I know a guy. Lost his eye when he was a kid. Well, actually, when he was an adult, delivering bicycles on Christmas Eve on top of a station wagon to the kids. He owned a bike shop. I got to know him, really good guy, and he was pulling one of these rubber ones across, popped him in the eye. He passed out from the pain, and his bike shop was right next to a bar, and somebody that came out of the back of the bar found him, got him help. Tragic. Whoa. Well, that was a cat fight. Neutral, fire in the hole. Let's go get some water. Yeah, I put this antifreeze in there in the wintertime now and leave it in the bottom and run it through the pump, so you see pink in all my hoses and stuff. I learned the lesson the hard way. I split one of my manifolds years ago. I actually bought two because I thought my buddy needed one, and believe it or not, at least 10 years later, I still have the one manifold in the back passenger door on my Impala. Honestly, that's where it's at. I can show it to you. I like to use all this material up when I spray, because if you let it sit too long, it gets kind of like a coagulant going, and then it starts to plug the screen, and which doesn't let it pump and spray, and it gets to be a pain in the butt. So what I'm going to do here is, as you see behind you here, I'm going to edge all the stuff that I can't mow, and then when I mow, it just looks so much cleaner. And I'd rather have a little dead area along my fence line and stuff, a patch is 6-8 inches wide, patch along the fence line, than to have those long, tall, grassy stuff you'll see. And maybe in a couple more videos, I'll show you the results. In case you don't believe me, if this stuff works as well as it should. You wonder what kind of trailer this is on. This is actually off a 250 Honda front end four-wheeler that I welded all the joints in place, because the trailers that come with these little things are just cheesy little pieces of garbage that can't haul the weight, and they just break. And here I got some semi-rough terrain that I'm pulling things over, so why not use ATV stuff? It was junk and I wanted to, it's been on here for years. It pulls over stuff easier, and when I hook it up to the back of something like this, it sits level. It's been a really good thing to have. If you got a lot of property that you're trying to maintain, I can't say enough good things about having a sprayer and maintaining it. But because I can flip a couple switches here and it goes from this wand to the boom, and I use the boom for my driveway and along the ditches and stuff like that next to the road that I want to keep clean, look nice. It just comes in handy. But I use the sprayer more than I do the boom. But I can pinpoint spray stuff that grows up where I don't want it to grow. And I usually end up doing this about twice a year. I'm filling this up to the tippy top because, keep in mind, that jug I had should make 230 gallons. And there again, I mix it a little rich. But usually, well, come on, what's going on here? So usually 2 tanks does my whole yard no problem. All I got most of the pink out of the hose, it looks like. Well, I can already tell this is going to be so much nicer to keep it out of the wheel. Matter of fact, let's run this underneath the bungees. Da, da, da. Now, after we've done all the edging in the yard, I wanted to get the driveway area so we can keep all the grass and weeds out of the rocks. Makes it look pretty terrible. So we'll put the boom on for this. Boom spraying. And we'll just work this driveway area. Well, I tell you, with that differential not being locked, sure makes it nice for maneuvering this guy. It's just effortless. It turns sharp, it doesn't try to push. It does a really good job. I couldn't be happier. I make sure not to hit the boss's flowers. That would not make her happy. Eventually, I'll haul a lot more gravel in here and turn this into a nice, hefty gravel parking lot, or parking area. There is a lot of rock bed underneath all this here that I'm running over. A generous amount of rock bed here. Matter of fact, if you have a drag box and stuff, you can fluff this up and it looks really fresh and really good. Now what you gotta be careful of when you do this is after you run over this, anything you have in your tires, when you run across your backyard, because I've done this before, you'll leave dead track. So a lot of times what I'll do is when I get done doing something like this, I'll let the four-wheeler or the whatever, my tow vehicle in this thing sit for about 10-20 minutes, and it'll dry off, and then it doesn't seem to have that same effect. I like to soak this down pretty good. As you can see, I've got probably about 10 gallons left, maybe only 8 gallons left. This is a 30-gallon tank. There again, what I mixed in here would do 200 and some gallons. So it's mixed kind of heavy, so it does the kill. But there again, for the money, it's pretty cheap. This is chemical I bought last year, and I'm only using half of it. Then when I do my second spray of the summer, I'll use the other half. Pretty economical overall. Yeah, we got her looking pretty wet. She'll dry up before the dew gets on it. And it'll look good. A couple weeks, it'll be all brown and just look like a driveway with a nice outline of gravel. I'll tell you what, this four-wheeler, it's flipping awesome. I love it. I think the kids are gonna love it. I got a 220 Bayou. This is a 300 Bayou. I got a 220 Bayou that I'm gonna get. It runs good. I just gotta get it running a little better. Let's just say, let's do some regular maintenance on it. Put a bolt back in the engine mount where it goes. But that's coming in an upcoming video. That's when I work on a whole bunch of them. And you'll see the Polaris Explorer on that video. Top speed on that at this moment in time is like 50 miles an hour. But it's got a belt that hasn't been changed out in 15 years. So it might be a little tired, a little dry. That's okay. I know what you're thinking. How could he possibly have this much to talk about while riding a four-wheeler and spraying? Did you just meet me? If you did, if you're new to the channel, welcome aboard. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you like the content. Look at all my other videos. I think you'll like it. But this is Michael saying this was a good purchase, and it's going to do everything I wanted it to do. And remember, if it ain't broke, fix it till it is.